Hello, Star Wars friends and fans. I'm Star Wars Only, and today we're doing Episode 4, A New Hope, the film commentary with your boy, Star Wars Only. I'm not going to be drinking like I did the last few times, at least not alcohol, so don't worry about that. I know Episode 3 I got a little, not drunk, but very, very buzzed, beyond the point of reason. And with this one, I know there's a lot of versions of the original trilogy, and I know I put a poll out saying should we do the special editions or the unaltered editions. And the unaltered ones won, which they should because they're the best versions. However, I know that a lot of people don't have access to those. So what we'll do is, in just for the sake of simplicity for everyone else, we're just gonna do the special edition versions. I got the I think 2011 Blu-ray version on me right now. This is the one I got plugged in. I'm at the play screen. I'm not even at the 20th Century Fox logo like I was for the past few ones. So we'll press play at the exact same time, and then the movie will start. So I don't have any delays. I know some people have complained about that in one or two of the past ones. So I'm going to try to make this one a lot simpler. Doing the Blu-ray version of the Star Wars original trilogy, and then later on we'll do the unaltered versions, and I'll have links for that and everything. So let's go ahead and get this bad boy started. Let's get to the main menu. I'm at the play, setup, search, commentary version. Let's just press play and let's get going on Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. If you're at the main menu, if you're at the main screen, get ready because we're pressing play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. I know we're going to have to deal with probably those normal little... Oh, no, we don't. We don't have to deal with the little intro of, like, legal stuff and everything. Like, don't distribute this or anything. Got the 20th Century Fox logo already. I love it. I miss it. Still miss it. Da, 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 da. I'm not going to sing for you. I know I'm not the greatest singer out there. Not even a good one. Oh, there we are. Parental guidance suggested and whatnot, yeah. Oh, another Fox fanfare. Okay. Ah, yeah, this is the more classic one here. Ah, yeah. And the Lucasfilm logo. Ah, takes you back, doesn't it? Takes you back. Gotta get comfortable, you know. You gotta get your feet set up, get ready to go. Here we are. Star Wars. In 1977, it didn't say, you're gonna see A New Hope show up, but in 1977, it didn't say A New Hope. It just said Star Wars. And then the crawl began. This one says Episode 4, A New Hope. It is a period of civil war. Rebel spaceships striking from a hidden base have won their first victory against the evil galactic empire. Nice and simple. I like it. During the battle, Rebel spies managed to steal secret plans to the Empire's ultimate weapon, the Death Star. You gotta put that in all caps. An armored space station with enough power to destroy an entire planet. Pursued by the Empire's sinister agents, Princess Leia races home aboard her starship, custodian of the stolen plans that can save her people and restore freedom to the galaxy. I forget how they actually filmed that opening crawl originally. I know like they basically had to put it kind of like a big black table and just put the little put the words in. I'm not entirely sure how they put them down, but you know they actually had to film it panning down and everything. It's a very interesting shot. Lucas got a lot of shit when the film came out by I think it was the Actors Guild or people basically involved with Hollywood. They weren't. You're supposed to put your credits at the beginning of the movie. Who directed it? Who wrote it? The actors involved in it. Not him. Put at the end. This shot right here alone tells you so much about the story. You got the small rebel ship, and you see that shot of just the Imperial Star Destroyer just panning over the camera. It's so massive and long length. It shows you the power that they have. Here's our boys R2 and C-3PO. And if you look at even the armor on C-3PO, like just what he's got going on, and everyone in this shot, in this scene, it looks very real. That's one of the things that I think the prequels and the sequels lack is a feel of realism. It looks very glossy, and you can tell they're in a nice production studio. No, not this. This looks real. It looks gritty. Feels like a world you could actually go to and live in. All right, here comes the stormtroopers. You know, we always say they miss all their shots, but I mean, they literally are wiping out this entire hall of rebels. Okay, I don't know how they cross this battle basically of gunfire without getting shot, but I guess no one really cares about shooting droids. And here we have our main villain of the film, Darth Vader. Simple, no words, intimidating. He's taller than everybody else. Here we have the late great Carrie Fisher's debut. Dang, I forget that Carrie was 19 when they were filming this, and I think Harrison Ford was like 30, and he was getting it. So I mean, I guess good for him at that time. This is also a pretty intimidating scene to see someone like Vader. He's lifting the dude like off the ground with his bare hand, not even using the force. He's just choking him with his bare hand. And he just throws him into the wall. They didn't use David Prowse's voice for the voice of Darth Vader, and he wasn't really happy about that. But it's just because he didn't. He was he's from Britain or something. He had a very softer spoken kind of voice. Didn't really work too well. So in came James Arnold Taylor. Oh wait, not not James Arnold Taylor. My bad. James Earl Jones. I guess the James guys are common in the Star Wars voice community, but damn, overweight glob of grease. I'm gonna start using that as an insult. Maybe they are trying to kill the droids. Damn, he just shot at C-3PO's head. You got to think if they would have shot down that escape pod, the entire story of Star Wars would have changed. Like literally everything would not have happened. They would have ran into Luke. He would have never gone on his little adventure. They never would have gone back to his uncle and aunt and burned them and all that. I mean, just all that based on that. Damn, dude, that's your daughter. Don't talk to her like that. See, it's pretty simple, the plot so far of just there's plans to destroy this big Death Star, and these guys are trying to find it, and the Rebel Alliance is, I mean, they're rebelling against this authoritarian empire. Not too complex. Lucas was really smart on using visuals like just of the desert that they're in to show that they're on a completely different planet. Feels like you're in a different world. But filming this, oh my god, especially as Kenny Baker and Anthony Daniels in these big metal costumes, it's gotta be hot. Anthony Daniels and Kenny Baker never got along though. That's one of the weirdest things about Star Wars is that they both were very I don't want to say prideful, but just did not compat with like they weren't compatible with each other at all. Their characters are best friends basically, but they were furthest from that. But Anthony Daniels was he's very what's the word for it? I mean, he felt like he deserved more money for Star Wars even after the film came out. I mean, this film was very successful at the time. It kind of coined the term blockbuster after Jaws came out, and Anthony Daniels was kind of upset that Carrie Fisher, Harrison Ford, and Mark Hamill got a bigger cut of the revenue, like a percentage wise, from the film, and he didn't. He was very upset about that, and I don't really understand why, but sure, whatever. He still got a lot of money from it. Lucas gave him, I think, like what $30,000, which in 1977, it's a lot of money, and just because he was in the film, not even as his salary for the film, he got that, and then $30,000 on top of it. Kenny Baker, I don't know what he got for the film, but I mean, I know Kenny Baker was a chill and pretty cool guy. And this is a cool shot too, though. Little rocks that R2's over here dealing with now. It feels like a different part of the planet that he's visiting. It's our introduction to Jawas. It's stuff like this, the kind of world building in the Star Wars universe. These little creatures that you're interested in. You don't get too much about their culture or their life. Just they're weird. I mean, you really don't know anything about them right now. It's almost scary if it's your first time seeing this. You can kind of see where the special edition stuff comes in. The electricity going all around him and whatnot. Fall forward. Ooh, teeny! Yeah, but then they become like kind of cute and lovable. These small little creatures. They're all cheering. Oh, look at that little one. Big mystery of the Star Wars universe is what do Jawas look like with their hood down? That'd be kind of cool if there was like a Jedi Jawa and like you knew shit was about to go down when he pulls down his hood. Like that's kind of like the big reveal of the movie or something. He's like, I'm pulling down my hood now. What's up? And I was like, oh, fuck. Oh, that's pretty. You see all the stars in the background. And then it cuts. No, man, he's an ugly looking droid. Oh, there's a gonk droid. Everyone loves those. R2D2, that is you. It is you. Yep. Oh god, here's where I get annoyed with the special editions. You got that stormtrooper riding on that, what is it called, dewback? I don't know what the fuck they're called. I don't care. It's just so out of place. I mean, it doesn't look good. It's not needed. Like, what's the point? Yeah, look, sir, droids. See that? That's simple, easy. That's all I needed. I didn't need all the fucking extra stormtroopers in the background looking around for droids too, George. Doesn't add to the story. It just adds to your visual appeal. Not mine, yours, George. Huh, we're doomed. Oh, teeny. We're about to get our introduction to the main man, Luke Skywalker, the best character in the Star Wars franchise. Look at all those cute little droids. Oh, there he is. Luke. Young little Mark Hamill. Luke. Simple little farm boy. God, I love the music too. Just so peaceful. You notice how disrespectful Owen is to poor old C3PO. No, poor Luke's got to do his chores. See, that's what makes him relatable, though. Is Owen's like, you can waste time with your friends when your chores are done. It's like, yeah, I mean, we all have a guardian or a parent in our life that we grew up with that was doing stuff like that. I like the Jawa's little shrug arms. What about that one? A lot of this film was really saved in the edit by Marcia Lucas, George's wife at the time, his first wife. And like, there's parts that we've kind of missed out. We were supposed to learn about Luke a lot earlier, and he was going to be watching the star battle, the spaceship battle between the Star Destroyer and the Rebel ship and everything. He was watching it from a distance and whatnot. Shut up, listen to the dialogue. See, we already get like Luke's motivations. He wants to get out of there. He wants to go live a life. Very relatable character. You're my only hope. She's your sister. I wouldn't call her beautiful like that, baby. You hear the Princess Leia music in the background too. Ben Kenobi. Well, not just a strange old hermit. He's the mentor of your life, buddy. He's a Jedi. A Jedi Master, to be exact. No, that's what they put on him, a restraining bolt. Hmm. Small lines of dialogue kind of help with like the furthering of the plot too, where he's like, you're too small to run away on me." And literally the next day he runs away, and just put one and two together, and you're like, "Oh well, the restraining bolt's what keeps him on the farm and everything." Small things like that that kind of cover up the plot holes that you'd have in a film. I don't like you either. Oh, there's the famous blue milk too. I like the little look they give each other. Aunt Nolan. Or Baru and Owen. I don't know why I called her aunt, like she's my aunt. It's when they talk about Anakin in the original trilogy, he's so much of a different and like almost mystical kind of character to think about. Where he's like, "You knew my father, and don't you forget it." This part is interesting though in terms of character development for Luke. But it's a whole nother year. No, it's it's just small, sweet moments like that. You really understand. Like Luke wants to get out of here. This scene right here, a shot of Luke just walking. He kicks a little sand. He's frustrated, but there's no dialogue here. He's simply thinking. He's simply looking out, wanting to go on an adventure. He doesn't want to be where he's at anymore. He wants to go do something with his life. And it's so relatable. We can all, feel that. And the music of John Williams behind it, it's truly a great scene. It's one of the things that makes Star Wars such a beautiful franchise. Makes it such a great movie. Sand people, Luke, that's racist. You can't say that. Is that lettuce or is that green onion that she's just putting in the thing? I don't know. Uh oh, be hell to pay. What are they gonna do, Uncle Owen? Keep him around another year? There's the sand people. Look how cool those banthas look. Mouth looks all like gruggy, I guess. I mean, it's just kind of funny looking. The special editions fixed a lot of the problems with the speeder too, because underneath it you would see like a little bit of a blur because it was basically a car with wheels on it. I mean, of course, it had wheels. It's a fucking car. It's not like they had a speeder back in, especially 1977. But yeah, you better get that gun, Luke. That's why we got the Second Amendment, baby. You gotta defend yourselves at all times. Wait, that's boxing. My bad. I think Mark Hamill actually hurt himself when he did that scene. I mean, they really could not afford anything back then. The stunts was basically all done by Mark Hamill himself. Anyways, oh, there's more special edition shit right there. You see that rock in front of R2? And when it cuts back to him, well, you'll see it. Oh, see that? Yeah, see that rock on the left, in front of him. And they also changed up that little yell thing that Obi-Wan does because why not? I guess. But yeah, Lucas wanted to add more rocks in front of R2 because, it makes it more of a complete film. You fell in love with half a complete film in 77. This is how I really wanted it to seem. The rock in front of R2 is critical to the story of Star Wars. Here's Obi-Wan. Hello there. Oh, God. Alec Guinness, you are such an amazing actor. Oh, you see the realization that he has right there. His eyes get all wide. Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's me. Even little lines of dialogue like that where Benz talks about his old name being Obi-Wan and everything and stuff like that. It gives you that kind of depth to character of this guy obviously has a troubled past and it's interesting. It makes you wonder what happened before. See how like when they lift C-3PO up, it cuts the shot with him lifting up. That's a cool little editing trick. Clone Wars. Oh, hear that? Become quite a good pilot yourself. People forget Luke's a good pilot. They try to make him like a Gary Sue when he destroys the Death Star. That's because they don't watch the film or they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. See, it's stuff like this that makes the prequels feel like missed opportunities. He's like, your father wanted you to have this when you were older. That never happened in the prequels. You had misdirection of character with Anakin in the prequels. In the originals, he sounds like such a cool and badass character. Civilized age. So badass, dude. Jedi sound amazing. The Force sounds so interesting too. I mean, this whole scene is great in terms of dialogue. It builds the universe of Star Wars, and it's also iconic. I mean, really, all of it's iconic. Another iconic moment. Not gonna lie, it almost brings a tear to my eye because I do miss Carrie Fisher. Alderaan. Hey man, I'd be going with Ben. Second he offered it, fuck the uncle and fuck the aunt, I'd be gone. Yeet, I'm done. Back to the Empire. It's always interesting seeing the bad guys, though, and then you see the Death Star. First time you get to see it. Well, he's got a point. And you're wrong. Wait until the end of the film. Ooh, Vader comes in with the Force here. Yeah, making the Force seem so mystical and powerful. This part's badass. He's about to choke him with the Force. I like how everyone just shuts up and watches him. I love the dynamic between Vader and Tarkin. One swift stroke. Precise Imperial stormtroopers? Obi-Wan, this isn't any time for joking. It's too dangerous. Even now, you can kind of see a little bit of the blur underneath the speeder. I mean, that's just the '70s. I mean, that's really it. I'm not gonna lie, this part always hit deep when I was a kid. Like, it took me a while growing up to realize, like, to see the skeletons, and I was like, oh, fuck. Oh. Oh, fuck. The sadness in Luke's face. You really see, like, the skin and the burnt bodies. He turns away. But then you realize he kind of accepts it. Like, he takes, like, one last look. Like, he has to almost let it sink in. A very powerful moment. Very depressing moment, too. Very dark. And it gets even darker right here when they're about to torture the princess. A damsel in distress, as you would say. This floating little ball's kind of cool, too. Just got that needle. It's like, oh shit! Is that about to stab her? You wouldn't even have to put that in me, bro. The second I saw a needle, I'd be like, all right, I got you, fam. I'm a little bitch when it comes to the needles. I would rather get shot than stabbed. I gotta see a knife go in my body. Fuck that. I'll take a bullet to the shoulder. I've already been shot at before in my life. I don't need to go through that shit again, let alone deal with a knife. I like how 3PO is just burning the bodies. See, right there. You got character motivation. He wants to become a Jedi like his father. He's got a reason to be a Jedi. He's following the footsteps of his father. Why does Rey want to be a Jedi? Because fuck you. This is where the film really starts to pick up, in my opinion. God damn it, George. The fucking special edition stuff, though. It all looks so fake. Looks like I'm in a video game from 2003. A little Jawa what was I about to say? Falling off. I mean, did I need this? No. What's going on here? That big old fucking thing walking across the screen. I don't need this, George. This part's cool. Just mind tricks him. Move along. Move along. Oh, you see that little separatist ship crashed in the background? Wonder what the story behind that is. If you just look at the background and the world that they're in, it feels so natural and lived in. And like, I would love to chill at Mos Eisley. I'm pretty confident I'd die, but... Oh, hey, there's a black guy in the background. So Lando wasn't the first black guy in Star Wars. That's awesome. See, George Lucas isn't racist. He married a black lady. No, you're not, Luke. Don't lie to yourself like that. Overconfidence is your weakness. People love this scene. I do too. I mean, you look at all the creatures. They were a lot scarier looking in the original, but you know, we got the special editions because fuck you. Oh, you see the two girls over there, far left. It'll cut to them in a second. I'd love to have a drink here too. That'd be awesome. I'd be jamming to the song the entire time. Oh, there's Chewie. Those girls right there, you see those two? They had been in a long debate with Lucas on making their toys available. Like, normally a lot of these people just signed off on having toys made for them. Well, they never agreed to it. They wanted like a larger cut of the revenue, and since they demanded that, the toys were never made. They never came to an agreement, so the toys were never made. There's no merchandise around those two characters, and if there was any, it would be like the holy grail of toys and merchandise in the Star Wars universe, because it would just be extremely rare. I mean, since 1997, or my bad, since 1977, they've never been made. And it's because those two girls are just stubborn about it. And hey, good for them, trying to get their money's worth. I mean, kind of past due at this point. I would have just taken whatever they offered. Some money's better than none. He doesn't like you. God, he's ugly. You'll be dead. Don't blast. Huh. Obi-Wan doesn't even cut off the main guy's arm who pulled the blaster. He cut off his friend. What a dick. Is that guy vaping? Huh. Oh, he is vaping. Ah, you see that stormtrooper getting off of the thing in the back? Looks so fake. I like this. Oh, here he is. Everyone's favorite character from this movie, Han Solo. Well, most people at least. Not mine. Should I have? Yeah, they made a movie about it. It's called Solo, a Star Wars story. You see Obi-Wan's eyes, like he looks at Luke and then he looks back at Han, kind of like, well, he's got a point. Yeah, man, that guy on the left is one ugly looking guy. Look at that face. Don't say that, Luke. You'll be back in episode 6. Oh, there's Greedo. There's a part after this where Jabba meets Han at the Millennium Falcon, and Gary Kurtz himself was saying that literally every information that you got in this scene was put into this scene right here with Greedo, making that Jabba scene in this movie completely pointless. Here we go. The iconic Han didn't shoot first scene. So weird. Got his head jerking to the side. Greedo never even shot in the unaltered version. And what made that scene so great is that Greedo didn't shoot, Han just killed him. The fact that Greedo's shooting first takes away character. Because you know that's the kind of person Han is. He'll shoot first. He shot the guy, killed him because he wanted to avoid the trouble. But the fact that he did it and almost in an act of self-defense, he pushes his head to the side. It's like, what's the point? You're taking away that cool character arc that Han had. It's not even really an arc. It's just who he is. Just a badass. Fun fact, Peter Cushing, who plays Tarkin in a lot of these scenes, is wearing slippers, not even Imperial boots. He found the shoes they gave him were pretty uncomfortable, so he just started wearing slippers on set. I think that's adorable. Huh. Yeah, just blame it all on the R2 unit, why don't you? Look how cool everything looks. Why didn't they build the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge off of Mos Eisley? That'd be so much more interesting. Oh, there's that spy guy. Jesus, he's got a long nose. Oh, fuck. Here we go. More special edition. Look how ugly Jabba looks. He sounds like such a cool mafia boss in the original trilogy, leading up to episode 6. And when you see him in episode 6, Return of the Jedi, he's so intimidating. He's a fucking joke here. Look how out of place he looks next to Han. Han me boogie. Oh, watch this. He's gonna step over his tail. Look how weird that looked. Han me boogie. You know, they used an actual actor in the scene as a stand-in. That's why it looks so weird. That's why I did the step over the tail shit. See, he even said, Jabba, you're a wonderful human being. Oh, there's Boba. Had to put him in here. Ah, I hate beating a dead horse saying this, but I love the way this entire planet and like setting looks. It feels so fucking real. Saw little characters walking in the background chilling. And then Luke insulting the Falcon like it's not an iconic ship. Everybody's all scared of the Imperials. Oh, here's the action. That's a cool scene. Da-na-na-na. You hear how the music's like slowly building up and da-na-na-na. Just kind of slowly building up. He knows a few maneuvers. That's why he's going slowly to the left. Oh boy, some of the dialogue in this part though isn't that great. This part's cool though when they start jumping the light speed. Oh God, George. He called her Leah. Alderaan almost looks like Earth, doesn't it? Damn, Tarkin's ruthless. He didn't give a fuck. Oh, he's not even doing it to be a dick. He just wants to make a demonstration. I mean, which is a dick move, but still. That was a very special effect back in 1977. We're so used to explosions now, but that was something special back then. Poor Han. It seems like a fun little game to play. Too bad they never made like an actual game out of it. I feel like they would have made a lot of money. Because you're a droid. That too. Wookiees are sore losers, I guess. Look how Chewie's all confident about it. Yeah, you better let me win, asshole. Flowing through him. Ha ha. I like how Luke's all judging a guy who doesn't believe in a religion he just got like inducted to 2 days ago. And what's great about like Obi-Wan as a Jedi at least is he's not like arguing with Han or anything. He's just like, oh well, all right, I'll keep doing my thing. You can take your opinion, shove it up your ass, but I won't tell you about it. It's got a point. It scenes like this, though, where you actually see Luke progress as a character, slowly but surely. People complain about Rey not training, it's because she has no struggles or challenges. I mean, at least with Anakin, you know that he went through Jedi training because he became a Jedi Knight and Jedi Padawan. In this, you actually see Luke learn with Obi-Wan, get his ass kicked a little bit, and then improve. Damn, they're gonna kill her for lying. When they were filming a lot of the scenes in the Falcon here, Harrison and Mark Hamill would normally just mess around the entire time, but when Alec Guinness showed up, they became so dead serious. And Alec, he's not stupid. He caught on to it. They were trying to show him a lot of respect, but he was like, they're treating me like I'm a dinosaur. Yeah, Alec wasn't really a big fan of making the Star Wars films. A lot of people try to say that he didn't like Star Wars and that he hated it. That's not true at all. He enjoyed Star Wars and thought it was a good film. He just didn't like making it and didn't really like how George Lucas was directing the film. George wasn't a very big overbearing director. I mean, people from the media would show up to interview the cast about Star Wars and kind of like just chill out on the set for the day. And like they would spend all day wondering, so who's the director? And I mean, that's kind of a, it's not, I'm not going to say embarrassing, but it's not a, or I'm not going to say embarrassing or a bad sign, but it's one of those things where it's like, you know who your director is when you're on set. You got the guy yelling, action, cut, and, hey, you go over here, and this needs, when it comes to George, he's a very quiet guy. He's a very reserved person. So when it came to this filming, he was under a lot of stress. I mean, he had to go to the hospital at one point, and they told him, you need to take time off from making this film so you can live. And I mean, he did what needed to be done. And he truly was dedicated to getting this film made. It's one of those matte paintings. You can kind of tell. Not even kind of, you can tell. You just got to have an eye for it. Yeah, thank God you didn't kill her yet. Since you got burned? Hmm. The fool or the fool who follows him? Huh. I like how no one hears all the blasters going off and whatnot. When I was young, I didn't realize that whenever they're about to, when he knocks on his helmet, it was like to indicate that he had a faulty communicator or whatever they call it. What? Transmitter, that's what he called it, okay. I was always just confused on why he knocked on his helmet. I was like, oh, okay. Oh, stop your bitching, Han. Not like you were doing anything special, anyways. You can kind of see the odd little cuts that they do when the doors open and close. Of course, they didn't really have like automatic opening doors like that. I like how Han leans on Chewie all the time and everything. Just classic little dynamic duo right there. The damsel in distress, that's who, Luke. Go save her. One of the complications that Lucas had filming this film is that the crew did not like George at all. I mean, they were filming out in, I don't know if it was London, definitely, so, I don't know, somewhere in the UK, and they just didn't like George. They didn't like the way he was making the film. They thought the whole thing was corny and stupid. Most people did at the time. On a side note on that is, I like the argument between Luke and Han here because it builds some tension between them. They're not friends at the moment, but as the story goes on, they become really close. That's kind of good story arcs with the two. That's true. He is a smuggler. But back to the story at hand that I was talking about. There came a point when they were so late into production and they still weren't complete, and Lucas still had to get a few more scenes filmed. He basically, I can't remember exactly what it was about, but there was a vote that had to happen on more or less of staying later into production and shooting even longer and making the, I think, the days a little longer. Like I think he had like 2 weeks, and he was letting the production crew vote on if they would stay just like an hour after of schedule to do things, because over there in the UK when they were filming this, there was a lot of labor union laws where like they they would be in the middle of a shot and it'd be like, all right, we gotta have our mandatory 15-minute break, and George is like, come on guys, we gotta, we're almost done with the scene here. Why don't we get it? Nope, George, 15-minute break. And then noon hits. All right, lunchtime. Guys, we're in the middle of a very important sequence. We're almost done with it. We got the camera set up, and why don't we got to redecorate everything when you come back? Why don't we just do? Nope, George. Sorry, lunch. I mean, very non-compliant with Lucas and what he was trying to do with the film. And so close to the ending of the film of production, they took a vote on staying a little later. I think like an hour late after the schedule was over or something like that for each day, and maybe I think delaying production by 2 weeks, or not delaying it but extending it by 2 weeks. And George lost the vote so hard. The entire team turned on him and was like, no, we're not doing it. I mean, just an awful experience for basically George, not really everyone else involved. Those guys were a bunch of fucking dicks to Lucas. I'm not gonna say George has had experience being bullied in his life, but he definitely was the introvert, shy person that people would pick on. I mean, he very nerdy, talks a lot. He would, when he was in college or high school, he would talk nonstop about his story ideas, and people would be like, "George, shut up." Poor guy. He's had a great but very sad life at times. It's a Wookiee. Oh, I like how he just hands him the gun. He's loose. 2187. FN 2187. This part's funny. How are you? That's one of the great things about this film is compared to the prequels and the sequels is it's actually funny. The characters feel real. I mean, they more or less are real. Aren't you the short to be a stormtrooper? That reminds me of the Family Guy episode where she says that to Chris, and Chris is Luke Skywalker. He's like, "Oh, well, stay here and rot, you stuck-up bitch." That's some shit I would say. Oh, that's another cool little hint. You, my friend, are all that's left of their religion. It's never mentioned in the film, in the entire original trilogy, the word Sith, that they're the opposite of the Jedi, but when they were doing like marketing for the film and everything and toys, with Darth Vader, it said Dark Lord of the Sith. So people knew that they were Sith, but they never knew what Sith really were other than opposite of Jedi. I like how they're already bickering at each other too. What a great couple. Poor Luke. He's like, well, I didn't know we were gonna end up like this. It's small little moments like these where the exchanges of dialogue in the middle of this action sequence makes the characters more relatable, builds character, connects you a little more to them. Don't feel like you get that with any of the other trilogies in the Star Wars franchise. What an incredible smell you discovered. It's worse. This little monster thing terrified me when I was younger. Like, I never understood how it could wrap up Luke Like they're standing in water, but it's barely going up to their shin, not even their knee. But when it gets them, it takes them like deep down. Like they can't even find him. It's like what the fuck? Where did he go? Where did it take him? What you're not even in a 3 feet of water and he's just gone. Oh, there he is again. Not. I don't even know why he's like anywhere. Like just put your gun, put the barrel of the gun to like one of the tentacles thing. Like literally, you can grab a piece of it right there and just fire at will on that little thing. I mean, what the fuck? And the water gets quiet. And you're like, oh my god, Luke just died. Hmm. It's the first time we get to hear that. I wonder how they're gonna use the. I got a bad feeling about this in episode 9, if at all. Yeah, I'm claustrophobic, man. I really don't know how well this part would go for me. Squeezing the walls in, like, if they didn't have the droids, they would have died. And there's really almost no way to avoid having this happen to you. Like, if it just kept getting closer and closer, I hate to be dark and depressing like this, but boy, that blaster would go straight to my head. Or I'd try to do like a everybody like point at each other and we're all gonna shoot on three kind of situation. Poor Chewie. He'd probably be the last one to die because he's like the biggest and strongest and could take the pain a little bit better than these weak humans. 3PO! Yeah, you'll be thin and dead. 3PO! Poor 3PO. Sneaky Wan Kenobi. You gotta appreciate the set design that they have here as well. Damn, that's kind of sexist of you, Han. You don't want any female advice? You big coward. Why don't you talk to Chewie like that, you asshole? Walking carpet. Luke's just so innocent. He's just walking on the side, looking around like, oh, well, where are we gonna go now? That's kind of cool too. Here in the stormtroopers talk, kind of casually, like nothing's happening. Maybe it's another drill. Damn, like that homeboy had to turn his head just a little bit, and he would have seen the old geezer just walking past him. That was me picking up girls back in the day. My first car was a Toyota Solara, 2002. Ugly piece of shit, man. It could only fit like two people in it, and it was didn't even have like a like door to the back seat. You had to crawl back there. I fucked like five girls back there back in high school. My God, didn't even fit. Nope, more special editions. See all the stormtroopers in the back that weren't there. Oh. Okay, how those stormtroopers missed those two. Okay, actually, never mind. I know how that happened. I forgot. Plot revealed later. We'll talk about it when it happens. Luke's smart. He already looked up and was like, all right, we're gonna have to swing across. I'll be Tarzan, you'll be Jane, baby. Or sister. I don't want to get too Alabama like now. Oh, Wilhelm scream. Gotta have one every film. Yeah, you just gotta love the music in this movie, man. It really gets you into it. You know, the stunt that they do here with them swinging across, it was legit Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher. Like I said earlier, they didn't have stunt actors in the budget. I mean, you just had to do everything yourself. Oh, he pulled out his lightsaber. You know it's about to go down. I like the little dive that Han does. Oh, he didn't even do a dive. Fuck me. The first lightsaber battle. Now you're the master. A lot lot of people give this fight shit for not being as flashy as the other ones. First of all, who cares? Second of all, it's not about the flashiness. It's about the internalization of character. A lot of these kids don't know film, so they don't really understand what that means, but you just gotta listen to the dialogue that these two have, even before the fight. Right here. That would be more powerful than you can possibly imagine. Mm-hmm. That's the interesting stuff, not the lightsaber battle they got going on. See, originally the lightsabers were meant to be really heavy. Like Lucas wanted it to be so heavy that you needed both hands to use them to fight. That's why in the original trilogy they used both hands. But in the prequel trilogy, he's like, well, I wanted to be a little more flashy, so we're gonna have Liam Neeson and Ewan McGregor and Ray Park. We're just gonna fucking flip them around and do some crazy shit. Fuck it, I don't care anymore. Yeah, imagine being a stormtrooper and you just look to the right. Oh fuck, is that Darth Vader? Is he fighting somebody? What the? Is that a lightsaber? Uh oh, not Ben. His death right there wasn't originally meant to be planned at all. Marcia Lucas, wife of George at the time, was the one who brought that up and recommended it. Said that when it comes to a film like this, you need to have some emotional loss. There has to be something you take away from it that you're a little sad about. I mean, it sucks when a character dies and you go, man, I really wish they would have lived. And you can have that with a lot of characters just by simply killing them off. But this actually felt impactful to the story. And she was right. I mean, it really did enhance the story. It became a very interesting death. He disappears, and Vader, kind of steps on his cloak. Like, where the hell did he go? And it makes us wonder what happened. I mean, he just disappeared. Is he really dead? And of course, he is dead, but he becomes one with the Force. It adds to that mystique of the Force. A great recommendation by Lucas's wife at the time, Marcia. She really saved this film. I miss her. I wish she was still involved with Star Wars, but that, my friends, is definitely another story for another day. It's where it picks up a little bit again. They gotta fight off the TIE fighters. I feel like this also would be a cool little ride to do at like Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. If they had like the just what do you call it? The turrets on the Falcon. You have this scene from A New Hope. I mean, who wouldn't want to do this? I do. Fuck it, put me in there, Coach. I'll take them out. Yeah, I remember the Family Guy episode where Peter Griffin's playing Han Solo. And he's like, I love those, man. And the shots that they have of it too, the Falcon's just staying there, and then you got the Tie Fighters panning around it. Great kid, don't get cocky. I never understood how the targeting system worked on this, though. I still don't. C-3PO blames it on everything but him. Way to take responsibility for your actions, 3PO. Let's see, this is what explains the ease of escape for these guys. They put a homing beacon on them. That's why all the troopers were missing. Damn. And poor Luke, he's like, well, I care. This is where the friendship of Luke and Han begins to form a little more. Luke's getting a little jealous. I mean, you gotta think, man, back in the 70s and 80s, and I'm not gonna lie, even now, a lot of girls were melting for a guy like Harrison Ford. Say what you will about the man, which I don't know who would say anything really negative about him. He's an attractive fucking guy. I mean, I ain't gonna beat around the bush. I don't really look at men and go, oh, well, he's attractive or he's not. But you look at Harrison, you're like, yeah, I mean, I could see the 70s being a very kind decade to a man like that. And the 80s. Mark and Carrie Fisher became brother and sister, like, not only through the films, but, I mean, they literally became family and best friends. Harrison and Carrie Fisher, they were playing hide the pickle. That is a big plug for a small TV screen. It should have just jumped out of hyperspace, like around the other side of the planet. Like how Han just kind of waves it off, like, I'm not doing that shit. He calls her Leia too. Have we been fucking up her name for, what, 4 decades now? Oh, see, it's another hint that Luke's a good pilot. You got those womp rats back at home. Imagine if the guy he said that to was like, just kind of looked at him dead in the eye, like, what the fuck's a womp rat? And who the fuck are you? Oh, there he is, all geared and suit up. Han's packing up that money. Hmm. Looks all pissed off. And he's still mad. He's like, you know what? That was a good thing you said, but I'm not gonna act like I'm not mad. Yeah, I wonder what would have happened if Ben lived. Like, what he would have done during this little battle. Would he have convinced Han to stay? I mean, Han comes back anyways, we know that, but still. There's Biggs. No, another hint. He's a good pilot. He's the best push pilot in the Outer Rim territory. Don't tell the people who hate on the originals that because they don't know what a fucking film is. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I get very defensive of the original trilogy. Actually, you know what? Fuck you. I'm not sorry. I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna apologize for defending perfection. I have thoroughly enjoyed this film. It is a classic. It was a classic then. 42 years later, it's a classic still. I mean, how many of you, like me, like literally grew up watching? I mean, back when I was growing up, we didn't have this on DVD. Lucas was a very stubborn asshole when it came to the DVD releases of the Star Wars films. You didn't get the DVD releases of the original trilogy until 2005. So from basically the release of the prequels up until 2005, the end of the prequels, I had to watch all the original films on VHS. And I would just sit there and rewatch this thing on rewind. I mean, just all the time. This one, mostly Return of the Jedi. God, I can't wait to get to Return of the Jedi. It's got its ups and downs, but a lot of high ups. This one's just one of those solid, good movies. Like, it is consistently good. It is plot simple. It's an easy story. It's fun to watch. It's just a good film. Is it like an all-time great? Yes. Yes, because of the iconicness of it and just the overall impact that it has. As a film, it's not like, Citizen Kane, but the effects for the time and what it did, I mean, truly revolutionary. The camera technology that they used. Red 5 standing by. Oh, there's Porkins. There's my boy. The real hero of the story. That's what she said. Another thing you'll notice with the special editions, and yet again, I'm not trying to be like nitpicky, but you kind of have an ear for it. The music is kind of downplayed a lot compared to the unaltered versions. You hear a lot of the lasers and the ships moving and whatnot a lot more in this version than you would in the theatrical release. Nitpicky complaint, but the music's great. I mean, come on. "30 rebel ships. It's all it took to take down this entire Death Star." Oh, Porkins can cover you. That's all. I mean, that's for sure. He a big boy. Hmm. May he rest in peace. The goat who ate too much goat. I like how he taps his comm link. He's like, is Ben alive? He's still talking? What the fuck is this? Oh. So what are we down to? 28 now? I'm not going to count every single one, but still. It's another fun thing about this movie is the dogfight part like this. It's pretty interesting. It builds the tension in the scene. I mean, by classic movie standards, you know that they're going to win in the end. I mean, not only have we seen this before, but a lot of movies have followed the same pattern that this movie has. And people, kids, I would say mostly, try to downplay this film. Like, oh, well, it's kind of boring, and I mean, we kind of know how it's gonna go and everything. And there's better movies now. And that's because you like the action, you like the big boom boom. Well, you know what started the big boom boom? This one, asshole. There's Wedge. Oof. That's pretty cool. He like shot him and he exploded and he went right through the explosion too. Here comes the Y-Wings. I remember playing the Trench Run like there's like a Star Wars video game at like Chuck E. Cheese in the arcades back in the day. I used to play, and this used to always be one of my favorite parts. 20 guns. I like how much like the ship is shaking and they're vibrating as like they fly on the trench. They've stopped. No, there's Vader. Another one bites the dust. Yeah, you better stay on target. Mm. I think you underestimate their chances, Tarkin. You're overconfident is your weakness, as Jedi Luke would say. This is it. Yeah, why not have, like, maybe Luke's gonna take care of him? I don't know. Like, I think you'd have these guys do the trench run, and then Luke's squad come in and take care of the fighters. See how much he's sweating? He's all nervous. Almost there. That's what she said. Oh, now you'll cover for him. Oh, that's a bad way to go. That's what she said. I'm sorry, I'm getting into the movie now. Like, I don't know why I'm genuinely, like, getting. I know how it ends, but, like, I feel the tension rising. Like, oh, this is getting good. Here they come. Yeah, Wedge is the smartest guy there. He got hit once and he's like, ah, fuck you guys, I'm out. Good luck. That part's kind of weird. You can kind of see Vader's eyes. David Prowse. Boy got a lot of shit after Empire Strikes Back. There was a false rumor. Not even a false rumor. There's just a rumor going around that he revealed the identity of Luke's father being Vader. And it was all a misunderstanding. And there goes Biggs. Mystical moment right here. Use the Force. Let go. The Death Star kind of gives me a THX 1138 vibe. Here comes Han! It's like the least intimidating thing Vader ever says. What? Boom. My astronomy professor always bitches about that scene right there. He's like the geniuses over there at Lucasfilm don't know that there's no sound in space. I'm like, bro, it's the 70s, all right? You were in college in the 70s. Why did you care? They did it. Everybody's all happy and cheering. This little farm boy did it. He was talking to himself for some reason. Why he did it. It's all happy and cheery. And then your boy R2's all fucked up. Oh, C-3PO complained about R2 the whole film, but now he's all happy to spare his parts for him. Such a good ending too, right here. Luke's looking all good, like a young stallion. Han's got his shirt buttoned up for the first time in the whole fucking film. Oh, the music, man, it gets you happy, you know? You're kind of like, yeah, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. And Leia's all looking pretty with her dress. I'm sorry. I'm feeling the song. It's hard not to, man. This is like quintessential Star Wars right here. The music, the scenery, the simple ending. It's all happy. Luke developed as a character. Han had his arc. Saved the damsel in distress. They defeated the Empire. They destroyed the big Death Star, the whole goal of the film. R2's back. Oh, a little smile that Luke gives. Oh, they turn, face the camera. Everybody's cheering. The audience is happy. It's the 70s. It closes right there. Written and directed by George Lucas. Good for you. Produced by Gary Kurtz. God bless you, brother. May you rest in peace. Executive producer, of course, George Lucas. And it's got the starring Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Peter Cushing. Is it not going to say who it's edited by? Oh, and Alec Guinness. Okay, yeah, they were quick with the actors on this one. James Earl Jones, the voice of Darth Vader. He didn't want his name in the original crawl at first. Oh, they're doing the normal ending credits with this. I wonder if this is different from the unaltered version of it. I want to see who it's. I want to see edited by Marshall Lucas. Why am I not seeing that yet, man? What's going on? There we go. Film editors. Paul Hirsch, Marshall Lucas, Richard Chew. They are the only ones who won Oscars for this film. Because that's what people really remembered it for, is the great editing. So that, my friends, was Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. With your film commentary with your boy, Star Wars Only. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't the most exciting film commentary, I guess, on my part. Not only because I wasn't drunk, but I mean, it's thoroughly an enjoyable film, and I liked it. I still, to this day, think it's a great film. I had fun watching it. It's short, about 2 hours and about 2 hours and 3 to 4 minutes, right? You know, right underneath that 2 hour and 10 mark. Pretty short for Star Wars film standards, which I think is good. And it's a very well paced film. I can understand people being a little bored in the first maybe 20 to 30 minutes of it, but beyond that, this film feels real. That's what I love about it. The characters are very real. The world around it feels lived in, and the villain's goal is clear. The characters have clear story arcs that you enjoy. You actually like the characters in this film a lot better than I think you would like the characters in the prequels and in the sequel trilogy, without a question. I mean, I really don't think there's room for debate on that. But I really enjoyed this. And there's so many iconic moments in this film. I mean, literally almost every single scene and almost all the lines of dialogue that they have. You know, some are not amazing, but there's so many scenes that we look back in film history and are like, wow, you know, that's a Star Wars moment. That's a very big moment in the Star Wars franchise, and it's got so many iconic moments that you look back in film history and really just wowed at. And I think it still holds up to this day. 42 years later, I still think A New Hope is just a tremendous film. And in terms of a rating out of it, from what I just saw, you know, 10 being a perfect film, I think it's an 8 out of 10. I mean, I don't know about you. Tell me in the comments below. Did you enjoy watching it, 42 years later? I did. I had a great time watching it. I really think it's a film that stands the test of time. The story behind it being made is almost as interesting, if not more interesting, to the film that resulted in all the struggles and work that went into it. And I love that. I mean, I love that this film spawned an entire franchise. It was just meant to be a simple little movie. It wasn't really meant to spawn a franchise. I mean, Lucas wanted it to. Lucas wanted, episodes 1 through 9, kind of make it like a serial thing with like Flash Gordon when he grew up. But great film, just really, really great film. I had a good time watching it. Hope you guys had a good time watching it again and watching it with me, your boy, Star Wars Only. Leave your thoughts below. Tell me what you thought about Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, 42 years later, and tell me what you thought about the film commentary of today. The next one is one I really can't wait for, and Star Wars Empire Strikes Back. That's going to be the next film commentary that we do. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Please leave your comments below on what you thought about the film, what you thought about the commentary, and what you're looking forward to in the future of Star Wars, and just None but some interesting conversations to have below. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll see y'all next time, and may the Force be with you, my friends. Always.